So I've gotten a lot better at dealing with jealousy and envy. And the main thing that helped me was just like being happy with the progress that I was making. And I think you can solve like so many problems just by doing that thing, by like actually oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that was so sour. Yeah, I think you can solve so many problems by just like actually being happy with the progress that you're making. But like specific to jealousy and envy, which I just learned like actually have two different meanings. I think they evoke the same like subjective feeling, but the stimulus is different. So jealousy is like you're afraid of losing something. So like if you have like one really close friend and like you only really talk to them, but they start talking to other people, you start feeling jealous because you're scared of losing that friend. But envy is like when you see a friend land like a crazy internship and you want that, like that's envy. So it's like fear of losing something versus you want something, which I thought was interesting. The best way to get over it, or not the best way to get over it, but like a good way to help is a good way to help with that feeling is by being actually happy with what you're doing. Because I think the main reason that you feel envy when you see someone accomplish something is because it kind of serves as like a reminder that you are not working towards achieving something yourself. And I think it's so potent with friends, because especially if you don't talk about work with those friends, I think it's especially kind of potent, because it's like, because at a high level it's like you don't see what happens behind closed doors. So what I mean by that is like when you're talking with these friends, all you talk about is like fucking around or like whatever it is, like anything that's not work, which is not like a bad thing necessarily, because like you have friends to like have fun among other things. But if you like just if you don't talk about work with these friends, and then you see those same type of friends like get a good internship or like even something small like a good grade on a test, part of me feels like, what the fuck, like I thought all we did was just like fuck around, like why are you doing other shit? So I don't know, like I felt this a lot last year at CMU when like I'd be talking with friends and like, you know, you always like joke around and you're like, bro, I'm so fucked for this test, like oh my god, I'm gonna fail this shit. And then like you actually fail and they do fine, and then it's like, what the fuck, I thought we were supposed to fail together. So I think that like phenomena is kind of a reason why when you see like a friend get like a really good job, like a close friend, it like you feel a lot more jealousy than if it's just some like random guy from high school. But yeah, I think a really good way to help get over that is if you're happy with what you're doing, then it's like you can see someone get an internship, and it's like even if that's your goal, you're able to like actually tell yourself like, you know what, like it's okay that they got that because I know that I'm like working towards that goal. Whereas, oh my god, this guy's about to fucking hit me. Whereas like if you see them get the internship and you've just been fucking off for the past like however long, it's like then you feel envious because it's like, I don't know, I think maybe part of it is like mob mentality too, because it's like I don't know, like if you see someone, like for example, if you see someone in class going on their phone, then you kind of implicitly think, oh, I can probably just go on my phone too, it's fine, right? Like, because like you don't look at these people in class and like imagine they're failing. Like you imagine everyone in your class to be doing fine, and it's not like a conscious thought. Like you look at someone and you're like, oh, they have an A, but it's like you don't associate the behavior with the result that they're actually getting, because you don't see the result, you only see the behavior. You see someone on their phone in class or not paying attention, and because you see that and you don't like actively see the fact that they're failing, like, which is a weird sentence because like how would you even see that? Like I don't know if that makes sense. Like they're not literally actively displaying the like when you look at them, I can't tell that they're failing, but if I look at them, I can tell they're going on their phone, and you don't assume that they're failing, so you're like, oh, okay, this is probably fine, then I can go on my phone. But then what happens is you then cast that behavior to the rest of your time, where on your free time you're on your phone and like whatever, distracting yourself. But the thing is, you only saw that behavior in isolation, so you don't know what that person's doing with the rest of their time. I think this ties back well to what I was talking about before, about like being with friends and like you only talk about fucking around with them. It's because then well, I don't want to cast on other people, but what I used to do is like I would then take what we talked about and like cast that onto the rest of my time. Because if you only do things related to what you talk about with your friends, you don't see the costs of not doing work, for example, because your discussions with your friends don't change, right? If that makes sense. So yeah, I think you need to be really careful about like, okay, I've gotten on like a huge sidetrack here. I was talking about like jealousy and envy. I've just noticed that in the past few months that I've been like putting like just effort into just actually doing shit, and like having tangible things I can point to as progress, that makes me feel a lot more secure in myself. So when I see someone who like achieves something big, I can tell myself like, that's all right, I know I'm doing what I need to be doing. And another thing that's kind of related is I heard Alex Hormozy say that people want you to do good but not better than them. And I think, I mean, it's not like a novel idea that he had, I just happen to remember him saying it. But point is, like, I don't think that's like I think that's a behavior that you can change, because I think that's a pretty negative trait to have, like objectively. Like if I told you like, hey, this person, they're gonna cheer for you as long as you're not beating them, but as soon as you start beating them, then they're gonna tear you down. Like this, so you can imagine how that's like a negative trait. But I think, and the thing is, like another thing that he said about this was that the way that people get over that is that they change the game that they care about. And what that means is like, oh, this person got a better internship than me, but I'm in better shape than them. This person's in better shape than me, but I have a better job than them. And that's how you kind of cope with it. But I think that's also a band-aid solution, right? Like the highest form of just not being envious is like, you have a goal, let's say to get a good job or a good internship, and you see someone else achieve something in that realm that is better than what you've achieved. So based on the framework that I said that I was talking about before, you would say like, okay, this person got a better internship than me, but I have a better relationship like with my family, or I'm in better shape, whatever the thing is, right? But the highest form is being like, yeah, they got a better internship than me, and that's great for them. And the only way that you can say that and actually feel it is if you're happy with the amount of progress that you're putting in. Because it's so potent when you're doing the same thing, because it's like, if they got the result that I'm looking for, that means that they must have put in work that I'm not putting in. And then you start to feel shitty about yourself that you're not putting in that work, and you project that as jealousy onto them. So yeah, I don't know. And again, this is really, really hard to do, because like it's hard to sit down and just like do the work. And I think another thing is like with these types of issues, it's hard to implement, because when you talk about it, you talk about directly solving the issue, right? Directly, how do I not feel jealous? But the work that is required to not feel jealous, like you don't do that work with the intention of like, I'm doing this so I don't feel jealous. You do the work because you're trying to achieve the goal of getting an internship, and then not feeling jealous is a byproduct. And I think that's like such a big issue with so many issues relating to self-esteem. I think like, because when someone is like has low self-esteem, or they're dealing with jealousy or whatever the thing is, and they look up a video, how do I fix X? And the solution talks, they always talk about how do I directly fix X. But I just don't think that's ever how it works. I think you fix X by doing Y, and then X is a byproduct of that. And I think that's why like it's so hard. That's why it's so hard, because it's like you have this like persistent issue of like, I have low self-esteem, and it feels like you're not making progress when you're doing something that does not have the direct intention to fix the self-esteem. I feel like this makes sense in my head. I don't know if I'm articulating it properly. But yeah, my main point is like, the best way to not be jealous is to be happy with what you're doing. And if you feel jealousy, I mean, I'm obviously N of 1, but in my experience, that just means that you're actually just not happy with the amount of work that you're doing. Because again, like if I take this, I don't know if I gave this example, but I have like a friend who just landed a crazy internship. And like for one of the first times in my life, like I was able to feel like actually genuinely happy for him because I'm happy with the amount of work that I'm doing. And like again, like it's not a flip of a switch. Like I'm sure I'm gonna have times where I get news of someone else and then I do feel jealous. And I don't know, like, so I don't want to make it seem like it's a very clean like slate, but I'm just trying to give you like a framework to just facilitate you dealing with jealousy, just like I don't want to say coping mechanism because I just don't like the connotation that has. But just to address jealousy. Yeah, and then like if you deal with that, then you can become the type of person who supports someone even when they're doing better than them, and further than that, when they're doing better than you at the thing that you're trying to do good at. Because it's very easy to like, if you don't give a fuck about skiing and you have a friend that's like a world-class skier, then it's very easy to be like, oh my god, great job, and like say that genuinely. But it's easier to do that than if you're also trying to be a skier and they have more success than you. It's very hard to be actually happy for them. So, but imagine like you can become like such a magnetic person if you're able to actually be happy for someone when they're doing better than you at the thing that you're trying to be good at. That's just such an amazing trait to have, because I think so barely any people have that. Like, and I think most people know that because it's like, or at least I feel that, because when I like get a good internship or like a good grade on a test, I'm like hesitant to tell someone like I got 100 on this test, because I feel like they're just gonna think, even though they'll probably say like, oh my god, good job, good for you, I know that they'll probably think like, fuck this guy, like he's doing better than me. So I feel hesitant to like say it. I don't know, like if you, and maybe like that's just me projecting, because like I know if the tables were turned, I would feel jealous of that person. So if you can become the type of person who's just genuinely happy for someone when they're doing good at something, even if it's something that you're trying to do good at, then it's like, I don't know, that's just such an amazing trait that you can have. Areski kamar mere balle balle bille, areski kamar mere balle balle, gara gara rang meri